right, hello everybody. We're back for another interview. This time we have Jordan Sommers. Jordan is a junior here at Waterloo. Um, last year, I guess it was technically last year. These with the COVID stuff, it's tough. Last year, Jordan finished fifth in the state in wrestling. He is a preseason national All-American this year. Jordan, besides for wrestling, also plays football as well. Correct? What position in football?
I guess I'm a little bit wide receiver.
Okay, excellent. Um, so here we go. We're gonna talk with Jordan about some stuff now. Ready? Wrestling, really tough sport mentally and physically. With those things, talk about the mental aspect of wrestling and how important that mental aspect is. The mental toughness, the grit, those types of things.
Uh, it's everything. I definitely think that mentally, actually, my freshman year to my sophomore year was like that was the deal breaker for me. Like what really separated me from not being much of a good wrestler my freshman year to my sophomore year. I really worked on my approach going into my matches and just keeping my composure, especially when everything's not going my way. Um, and so, yeah, definitely think that helps me a lot.
Talk about how important that is. You said keeping your composure when things don't go your way. There it is, overcoming that adversity. Talk about those types of things. How you do that. What are some techniques you do with that to help you overcome that adversity?
Um, just understanding it's part of the process. Whether it's it took me actually a little while to get taken down. I was probably like 8 or 9 matches into the season, and then I finally got taken down, and I was like, okay, I'm not familiar with this, but obviously I wasn't going to let that determine the match, and so just kept wrestling. Same thing with losing. Whenever you lose, you can't let it drag you down and let you perform bad for a certain amount of time throughout the season. You got to just put it behind you. You just got to keep going. So.
Love it. What great advice for anybody listening. One of the things I like with wrestling is it's a little bit of both an individual sport and a team sport, which is really neat. Me being a baseball guy, we always talked about baseball as an individual sport masquerading as a team sport.
Yeah.
There's a lot of individual when I'm up to bat, when I'm on the mound pitching. There's a lot of individual things with that. Wrestling, too, obviously, it's you and your opponent, but it's also a team sport. Talk about how tough that can be sometimes to balance. I want to be a good teammate and the individual aspect of things and what it means to be a good teammate.
To be honest, actually, with Waterloo Wrestling, I think we actually were a really, really good team. We were really good about being good teammates, especially last year. My freshman year, there was just so much adversity that I had to go through my freshman year, and the same thing with the whole team. It wasn't just me. But my sophomore year, I mean, we just clicked, and so basically, what it would look like is uh, we got some studs. It's not just me. We got Brandon Lloyd, Brett Howard, Gavin Heron. There's all kinds of studs that we have, and so I'm just going crazy, like rooting for them and everything. Right before my match, Brandon Lloyd was 2 weight classes below or 3 weight classes below me, and so I'm just like going crazy while most people are warming up with their music zoned in. But no, I'm going crazy for Brandon Lloyd, and then right after my match, after I'm all sweaty and got a cut up eye, and I'm going for Brett Howard. I'm rooting for Brett Howard because I don't know. So it's definitely a big family thing, and being a good teammate is just as important as looking after yourself.
Sure. Um, to talk a little bit about that, do you think that kind of helps you that other people are maybe they psych themselves out and they're so worried about themselves that it can be a downfall while you're enjoying the success of others, and so you're feeling really good going into your matches. Do you think maybe sometimes that those types of things, not focusing so much on yourself and enjoying other success, do you think that helps you sometimes in a wrestling match?
It actually helps me like relax myself too, because it gets my mind off of myself. I'm not always thinking about, oh man, like the pressure's on me and everything. But now I'm rooting for my best friends, my brothers, and it's just so awesome. And same thing, and you have their back whenever you let them know that you're rooting for them. You're warming them up, you're telling them you're the person, you're the guy, you're the hammer, and they do the same thing for you.
Sure,
So,
sure. And I've heard great things being a first year AD. I haven't had a chance to watch you wrestle. Hopefully, I know the season got moved to what the IHSA is calling the summer, which would be April 19th or thereabouts as a start. And hopefully we'll be able to watch you wrestle and everything. But, I've heard wonderful things from a variety of people on that, of how great you are as a teammate, how great the mentality is for you. And for those who don't know, we've been doing our 4 character words, something in the athletic department this year that we're focusing on, of passion, competitive, discipline, dedication. Talk about one of those. Which one of those words really kind of rings true for you? That, boy, I really like this word, and why?
Passion. Passion, 100% passion.
And why is that?
If you don't have passion for something, it's almost impossible to be the best at it.
Yeah.
I live, I breathe, everything around me is wrestling. It's like I just have this passion for it. If I don't do something to make myself better physically in wrestling, I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm studying some of the best guys in the country, and I just doing whatever I can to become a better wrestler. My whole life has evolved around it.
Awesome.
And even like whenever this COVID stuff first started and gyms were closing down, and you had to quarantine, I was still doing everything I could. I was still doing my push-ups, my pull-ups, my running, my 2-3 miles a day, like whatever it was that I had planned out for that day. So
yeah,
just stay consistent.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. Speaking of those things, talk about the importance of the weight room for you. How much do you lift? Is it an everyday thing you're trying to get into the weight room? How important has the weight room been to your development?
The weight room is a really tricky thing for wrestling, believe it or not. Most people think of a wrestler as like a short, bulky, like, let's just see how much weight you can lift, and the guy that's stronger is going to win. That is 100% false. I've lost to people that are definitely weaker than I am, but however, explosiveness has a lot to do with wrestling. So things that help your explosiveness is being able to lift and just working on yourself and the athletic aspect of things. So technique is the biggest thing in wrestling, but lifting, it goes technique, endurance, and then strength for me.
Okay.
But personally, yeah, I do lift almost every day.
Yeah.
I do think it's important. You have to lift if you want to be a good wrestler. It's
sure.
It's a very hands-on sport.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do lift pretty much every day.
Good. Favorite memory from school? Favorite memory from athletics? What is it?
I'm gonna say actually Coach Garcio and Coach Newberry. Coach Newberry's our assistant coach.
Mm-hmm.
He gave us, I think, I have it on right now. This chip right here,
okay.
And it says "Go all in." And we're at practice one day, and we were kind of it was at the middle of the season, and we were kind of just like, it was like really slow going. We were kind of trudging to practice. We were like, oh my gosh, like we're sore, and coach was like, he gave every single one of us one of these poker chips, and he said that it's so important to go all in. And he said it's so important to put in what you want out of it. And ever since that day, I really feel like that's really helped me, like mentally, especially going into state. Actually, I had this with me, and coach told me, and he had one in his pocket every tournament. He would pull it out, and he's like, "Hey, we go all in. Water the wrestling goes all in." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's actually right." So that's probably one of the most memorable things for me, just remembering Coach Garcia.
Well, yeah, and I think what a great message, and those are the things we talk about, how sports really can teach us lessons beyond the court, the mat, the field, whatever you're in, into life lessons. And what a great life lesson for that. If you want to be successful in whatever field, that you're going to do, you have to go all in. You want to be a successful teacher, a successful business person, whatever it is that you're going to do. What a great message that you've learned already at a relatively young age here. So great job, Coach Garcio and Coach Newberry, teaching beyond your sport and everything. Um, so advice for students, for our younger kids, our freshmen, our sophomores, even our seniors, and everything. Advice for our kids for athletics, for school, life in general.
Um, be your own person. Be you. Um, don't let what people think about you or what they say to you let that bring you down. Throughout on the daily, I can name so many people that have doubted me. Um, that they're just going to try to bring you down because they're ultimately just jealous because of the way that you're just yourself. If you act yourself,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just be yourself. That's not just with sports. Work on your own craft, and once again, that's not just with sports. It's whether it's a routine for you daily, for you to wake up, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, whatever you got to do. Just work on yourself and be really invested in what you can do to better yourself and what you can do to better the people around you.
What great advice. Couldn't have said it better myself. Jordan, thank you very much. What a great interview. And we're looking forward to awesome things come April.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Thanks, man.